ma'am, my child is an introvert, my child does not like sports, or my child is not good in art, he does not speak in front of people. How many times as parents we talk about our children with a tinge of disappointment? And children also listen to us. Friends, I'm Riri Trivedi. I'm a parenting coach, a regression therapist, and today I'm going to be talking about the third guideline of positive parenting, which is accepting our children the way they are. If you haven't seen the first two guidelines of positive parenting, then please do see those before you see this video. This video is a part of the Pathways to Positive Parenting series that I'm doing, where I'm guiding parents with different tools and resources to help them make their parenting journey better. So do subscribe to this channel if you are a parent or going to be a parent, and if you want some tips and some guidelines to make your parenting journey more empowering and enjoyable for you and your children. So accepting our children the way they are, it's easier said than done, isn't it? We as Indian parents or even Asian parents are known to drive our children very hard when it comes to academics or sports or any area in life. Most of us want our children to be good in sports or academics, or to be first in the spelling bee, or to become a chess champion or an art prodigy. But unfortunately, most of the kids are not like that. And as parents, sometimes we do not realize when we push our children so hard to be who they are not, to be who we want them to be. And in the process, we might alienate our relationship with them. We might make our parenting journey very stressful and anxious. And we might also end up making our children feel that they are worthless, not loved, or inadequate. Accepting our children the way they are, by that I mean to say that not all kids will know from early on what they want to be in life. So you will have children who will want to do everything, but they don't know what they want to become. And there will be some kids who will know from childhood that I want to be a pilot or I want to be an engineer. But not all kids are like that. Not all kids are also extroverts. So you will have a child who may be introverted, and that is fine. Not all kids can be very good in art or very good in sport or very good in studies. In fact, many parents say we don't pressurize our child to be good in studies, but at least he should be good in something. Well, let me tell you that not all kids will be good at something or anything. Most kids may be average, and that is also fine. As parents, it is important for us to understand that the child's confidence and self-worth comes from the deep-rooted knowing that I am accepted by my parents the way I am. And that does not mean that we encourage mediocrity in our children. That does not mean we encourage our children to be average. It only means that we start feeling and telling our child from early on that whatever he or she chooses to be, whoever he or she is inherently, we love that child the way he or she is. So I have parents who come to me and they say, ma'am, my 3-year-old daughter, she loves dancing, and every time there's music, she starts dancing. And then I put her in a dance class, and within 3 months, she stopped going to the dance class. Another parent tells me that my son loves football, he wants to play it professionally, but once he actually started playing football, I put him in the football coaching classes. Now, after 2 years, he doesn't want to have anything to do with football, and sending him to football classes is also a nightmare for us. What can we do? First thing is, remember that when children are young, their minds are very creative. They want to know everything, explore everything. So, if they start showing interest in, say, art or dance or music or football, does not mean that they are going to be experts at it. It only means that they want to try it out. So once they want to try it out, let them try it out without the pressure of being something or achieving something in that field. Because the moment you put that pressure, the entire interest and the creativity completely dies out. I remember my son used to do a lot of drawings as a child behind all his worksheets. So, being the enthusiastic mom I am, I said, okay, let me put him in an art class. The moment I put him in an art class, he probably figured out that there was so much of structure that he lost interest. So I stopped the art class instantly and I let him continue his creativity, his art the way he wanted to, without any structure. When he grew up, eventually he wanted a career in design. He took up the structured classes when he felt that he had to prepare for an exam. And that is when he realized that he does not necessarily like art, he's just creative, but he likes more of making things and products. So there is a difference between creativity also and art. So your child may be creative, and remember that any structure that you put in might kill that creativity. Not all children want to be professional players. So like my daughter, she tried her hand at everything. So she would do dance, she learnt music, she learnt art, she learnt Kathak, she learnt Hindustani vocal. She would join all the classes, learn for some years and then quit. That is also fine because that's who she is. So remember, do not put the pressure on your child that once he or she has shown interest in a subject, he or she has to excel in it. If he or she excels, that's great. If he doesn't excel, that's fine, the child can explore something else. Remember, early years, the child's brain is developing. There is a lot of creativity, lot of exploration that goes on. At that time, putting a child in a structured class may not be a good idea, unless that child is clear and you are clear that the child wants to take a path of professional playing, like professional chess or professional cricket or professional golf, in which case the path is completely different. But for 90% of the kids, I think they usually want to explore all these things as a hobby. So the first thing is, remember that your child may be average, your child may not excel in everything, and just because your child shows interest in something doesn't mean that the child is going to pursue that for life. The child may keep changing the interest as he or she grows up. As a part of this accepting your child, another very important rule is do not compare your child. We often unconsciously say, oh, look at your friend, he's so good in talking to people. Oh, look at your friend, she's so good in sports, why don't you play sports? But the moment we start comparing our children with other children, indirectly we are making our children feel that they are not good enough and they will only be accepted and loved if they become like that other child. And this is absolutely not okay because every child is unique. Instead of comparing your children with other children, try to show your child what he or she is good at, or allow your child to discover what he or she actually likes and enjoys doing. Most of the time, if the child is allowed to do what he or she loves to do and enjoys doing, then the child is going to be much more confident as an adult, much more self-assured. But a child who has been pressured to be good at everything may grow up with anxiety, poor self-worth, and a lot of stress about constantly proving himself or herself. So accepting your child is a very important part. But at the same time, in accepting your child, do not overpraise your child. So be very careful. I am not asking you to praise your children for every little thing they have done. Because when your child gets into the habit of always getting praises and appreciation for little things, the child is now going to expect that appreciation from everybody. And when that doesn't come, the child is going to feel unhappy about it. Or the child might do everything just in order to get appreciation and praise. So when your children are little, remember, be a little bit careful. Do not appreciate and praise everything that the child has done. Instead, just observe that I see that you have arranged your clothes well, or I see that you are doing this very well, or I'm noticing that you're enjoying playing with clay a lot, or I see that you're enjoying Lego very much. How do you feel about it? So instead of constantly overpraising your child, it is a good idea to talk to your child about how he or she feels and to notice that the child is enjoying it. So by this, we are assuring the child that we know what he or she feels, that the child is feeling good about doing what he or she is doing, and we are not overpraising or over appreciating. Remember, when children are small, hobbies, activities are all about exploration and allowing the child to enjoy that. It is not about achieving something, getting good marks in that activity or being the topper in that class. So please be mindful of doing. Again, whenever a child has shown interest in any hobby or any activity, do not force the child to seek perfection. So if your child wants to explore art or wants to explore football, doesn't mean the child has to be the goalkeeper or has to be leader of the football team. So please avoid putting pressure, and please let your child enjoy the hobbies and activities that he or she has shown interest in without also expecting that the child will continue to be excelling in that field. So these are the few points that I would like to tell parents about accepting your children the way they are. Remember, it is okay to have a child who is average in many things. It is okay to have a child who is a jack of all trades and master of none. It is okay to have a child who really doesn't know what he or she wants to do in life. Because if your child was like me, then I only realized at 40 what I wanted to do in life. And till 40, I have done so many different things. And that is also fine as long as your child is confident, as long as your child doesn't have any toxic shame, fear, phobias or insecurity. Stay away from comparison, because comparing your child also invariably makes your child experience shame and feeling less compared to others. And this in the long run is definitely not helpful. Even do not compare your child to the siblings. Many times parents make the mistake of comparing children with their own brothers and sisters. Like, look at your brother, he's so good in sports, why can't you be? Or look at your sister, she's so good in math and you just can't do it right. When you are comparing your child to friends or siblings, it does not motivate your child. In fact, it makes your child hate and resent that sibling or that friend. It will affect their friendship, it will affect the relationship of the siblings as well, and it is not going to help your child do any better. Instead, encouraging your child to do what he or she loves is always a great idea, and focusing on what is the child's unique skill or what is the child's skill that is different from the other children is a great way to make your child feel self-assured and loved. I hope this guideline was useful to you, and in the next video I will be sharing the next guideline for positive parenting, which is allowing age-appropriate independence and problem-solving skills. So please stay tuned for more.